Well, hey guys, I am cleaning up this whole messy area. It's off of the bistro. I think I told you a while ago that I was going to clean out my bird bath and really do some kind of aggressive pruning on this snowball viburnum. Now, this isn't the same variety as the massive Chinese snowball viburnum in the back that you guys are always asking about. This is the smaller, what I call the florist's version. But Stuart, if you can show them back in here. Again, this area is just off of the bistro and the seating area, so it's getting a little too congested, it's getting overgrown, and I'm going to do my thing that I like to do of pruning up the canopy and taking off a lot of the limbs on this viburnum, making it just feel a little bit more open, some better airflow, fewer places for mosquitoes to hang out, and a lot more light. Now, if you look over here, you can see that there's a stand of hydrangeas, and these are reblooming hydrangeas, but they really are not getting enough light. So the other thing that I'm wanting to do by pruning this viburnum is to get more light to this area and just clean it out, make it feel less oppressive, more open, and that way I can move some of these pots back and it just won't feel quite so congested. So here is basically what I do, and I don't know what it is about you guys. Maybe you're just like Hubs, that you really like these videos where I'm doing all of the work and you guys are just watching, even though I appreciate the heck out of you guys hanging out with me here and keeping me company. But I guess if we all had our druthers, we'd always have somebody else doing the work, wouldn't we? Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom, and all of this kind of twiggy stuff at the bottom I'm going to get rid of. So again, it will, as I've said a gazillion times, start looking more like a small tree and less like an overgrown shrub. So any of these suckers I'm going to remove. I only want the main canes, and I've just got, these happen to be Brex pruners. I've just got some really good sharp pruners here. And also, while I'm down here, I'm going to clip on this Nandina some, take off some of its height. We've had so much wind lately that there is debris everywhere, and I'm going to clean up lots of that debris. Also, we have been pruning back a lot of the Virginia creeper and the wisteria that I'm always talking about that comes over my neighbor's fence. And so there's some of that we have cut back. That's in there. This is very gratifying, you guys. It helps me feel a little bit like I am more under control of my life. Stuart, don't trip on anything. Okay. And the same principle applies regardless of what type of shrub it is. So on Instagram recently, I showed some vitex at my neighbor's that was pruned into a small tree. I'm going to take off this whole branch, you guys. I'm just going to cut it down at the base. See how this is really starting to open up? This right here, this is a great tip, you guys. So the part of the branch that is hanging down, if you remove it, that added weight when it is taken off will naturally elevate the branch because it just doesn't have that additional weight on it. See how much more light there is in here, how much less congested it is. At any rate, I was saying that on Instagram, and if you're not following me there, you might want to check it out so you can see how my neighbors pruned up their Vitex, which is a quintessential southern plant that blooms in these lavender blooms, and it's great for southern gardens. But it has a shrubby form. And if you prune it into a small tree, that shrubby form turns into a petite specimen tree. Stuart, can you see how this is starting to open up? Okay. Sometimes I'll rearrange the canes. And then, as always, I'll have to step back later and see what I've done. I'm doing this in the cool of the morning because it is going to get really, really hot later this afternoon. And any garden chores, if at all possible, I try to do in the morning. I have more than once called 911 for neighbors who have succumbed to heat stroke when they weren't hydrating enough and were working out in their gardens at midday. So to avoid that, please try to be smart about when you work out in the garden. Plus, it just is eminently more pleasant when it's not so hot. Now, some of you ask, can you take off too much? I try to never take off maybe more than a third, but quite frankly, a lot of it is just experience, and I know which of these plants can handle pretty aggressive pruning and which can't. And for the most part, I would say if, I'll take this all the way off back to there. If it's an aggressive grower, like this viburnum is, then in all likelihood it can handle pretty aggressive pruning. Okay, Stuart, I want to show viewers, can you see that intersection right there? I'm going to cut it at this point because you can see that that's a clean cut. It raises that, it not only reduces the length of that, but it also raises that up some. I love, because not only do you want to work out in your garden in the morning, it's also the best time to be out with your kiddos playing in the morning. So I have the lovely sounds generally of little kids. There's a swing set behind me in the house behind me, and they've got two little ones, and I love listening to them play. Reminds me of my boys when they were little. Especially now when we're quarantined and we really miss the sounds of people gathering and playing and laughing. I find it really comforting. So, get back down in here into the bowels of the plant. And I don't, in some cases, I guess, I clean up as I go, but not in this case. I'll just wait until I'm finished pruning this, And then I will get them all at one time and clean it up. These nandinas, again, that get a little bit overgrown. I've said it many times, but nandinas can pretty much be pruned at any time of year, at any point along the cane, and they will be just fine. And it prevents them from getting that woody, leggy look. And I get a lot of questions from you guys about that live in parts of the South as to whether or not nandina are invasive. And apparently in some parts of the country they are. It's always good to know what is going on in your growing zone. I'm going to take this one all the way to the ground. So if something that you suspect or that you have heard is invasive in your area, by all means, check it out and do your research beforehand. Your county extension center is such an invaluable resource, and all it requires is a phone call to learn about your growing area, what performs well, what might be invasive, what things might be prone to pests in your area. It's one of the wonderful things about gardening is that there are so many resources available to you. And I hope that you guys consider me a resource. I don't profess to be an expert. I just try to share what works for me and what doesn't work for me. My successes and my foibles as well. Sometimes I also try to clip out things that are growing into the interior of the plant. Get this out of the way. The reason I love this kind of pruning, you guys, is you talk about immediate gratification. I get immediate gratification from it. And by morning's end, I feel like I've already accomplished something. Okay, Stuart, I'm going to step back and see. Oh my goodness, that looks better. It looks a lot better. And yes, I did take off quite a bit. But again, I know that this plant can handle it. You'll undoubtedly ask, how long has this been here? And it has been here, I'm going to say, 10 to 12 years. A long time ago, there used to be in this area a multi-trunk river birch. And the ice storms got it. I lost it and had to replace it with something else. So, okay, so now what I think I'm going to do, Stuart, would you please show them my clean bird bath? I scrubbed it out and everything, and I want you to see it is aged, but I want you to see how pretty that I don't know what you'd call those little doodles are. I love the texture that they provide. And then if you'll show them, this is another frequently asked question. What is the metal base to the bird bath? Well, you guys, that was a table with a glass top. Stuart, if you can show them the base, you can see that it's circular. And that actually had a piece of glass sitting on top of it. And it just wasn't very functional, and I needed something. So I thought, aha, I can turn that upside down. And subsequently, I have done that, by the way. What works once can work multiple times. So a lot of times now I'll take a stand and I'll turn it into, Stuart just grimaced at me because I think I hit him in the face with the branch. So now I'm going to get this stuff out of the way so you can see how much more open it is. And then I've got my handy rake here, and I'm going to clean up all of this debris in here. And then when I get done, I'm going to have Stuart take a picture of it, and at the end, we'll show you what it looks like after all of this debris is cleared out and it's all purdied up. And I've moved some pots, and order has been restored. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. And if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe and like it and hit notifications if you want to watch regularly. So I am hot and sweaty now, but I'm going to finish this up, and you guys have a good day.